Sorry, I'm going to do that one more time. Sean Diddy Combs is claiming prosecutors are spying on him in jail cell. Really? Haven't you been spying on everybody? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We are live today with some new legal updates. Diddy has filed some new complaints. And typically, I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what? Yeah, we should hear this out. What? They're getting rid of his amendment rights. They're not giving him the proper due process. As we've learned through his previous attempts, they're all full of BS. He's now just completely torched his credibility. The judge has gotten frustrated. They've claimed that legal pads were legal pads because they said legal, but then they didn't. It is absolutely bonkers how much this man, this disgusting monster, has tried to game the system to lie and control himself. Because as you all know,
savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
well, you're not getting out of jail. So you're stuck there. Now, let's go through this because the filing has come forward. The claim comes as the latest filings, legal team. Let's look at this, shall we? I have the document right here. Bear with me as I just get all my information. Here it is. Versus Sean Combs. Ooh. All right. Now, Diddy's team filed a 31-page document accusing the government of misconduct. His team claims he faces enormous challenges in this case, not because of the evidence, but because he must defend himself and prepare for trial from jail, and that the government has used unconstitutional tactics and have interfered with his ability to work with his attorneys and make it impossible for his attorneys to provide effective assistance of counsel. Now, here's the reality check. At first, I humored this. I really did sort of worry that he wasn't getting this fair trial, and I thought, you know what? This is scary. If this is real, this could be very problematic. But the problem is he lost me. He's completely lost me. All this stuff he's complaining about is now, to me, just screams like delays. Delay, 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 distract, 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 lie, 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 lie. There's not a single piece of actual evidence that proves they're doing anything illegal against his rights. And the whole reason he's still stuck in jail without bail is because he keeps breaking the rules. Literally, while he's trying to get bail, he's out there stealing other prisoners' ID numbers and calling people that he's not supposed to, and using apps that literally days before, in his bail hearing, they say, we will control our client, Your Honor. We will make sure he doesn't use these. And then he uses them. I mean, this guy is the biggest bozo I've ever met. He literally thinks he controls everybody. And now that he's lost control, he's losing it, his whole mind. But in this, he claims that the government is spying on him in jail. This is bonkers. He is insane. Hold on, I want to get this actual spying quote. Here it is. The evidence shows the government is using Mr. Combs' attention to spy on him and invade his confidential communications with his counsel. Since his arrest, the government has been working with BOP staff, including Investigator 1, to take advantage of his incarceration by meticulously monitoring all his communications, including with his attorneys. Hello? That's what happens when you're in prison, and there's a reason you're there, buddy. You did this to yourself. They're monitoring my actions in prison. How am I supposed to do this if they're monitoring my actions when I'm in jail? This dude thinks he's supposed to be in jail and they're not supposed to monitor him. I mean, during his recent BOP sweep of MDC, Investigator 1 illegally searched Mr. Combs' handwritten notes containing privileged communications and work product. Investigator 1 photographed the notes and then shared them with prosecutors. Prosecutors claim they did not request this search, yet they concede Investigator 1 has been investigating Mr. Combs at their direction all along, gathering evidence they have used in hope of continuing to use against Mr. Combs. This disturbing conduct is a blatant violation of his rights. Prosecutors say the search was motivated by security concerns, but that is a false pretext. Is it? Is it, though? The purported purpose of the sweep was to search for contraband, but since when is prison contraband? Photographed, but since when is prison contraband photographed and left in place? If it were contraband, it wouldn't have been seized. It would have been seized. That is not what Investigator 1 did here, leading to the inescapable conclusion that it was intentional. Targeted an illegal search to discover information that could use prosecutors a leg up Mr. Combs, including his handwritten privilege notes, etc. Here's the reality. Here's the reality check. Because again, as viewers of this channel have known, to many of my viewers' chagrin, I have stood up for him to ensure he gets his rights. Not because I believe in him, not because of any of that, but because I don't want there to be a mistrial. I don't want there to be some shenanigans that sort of suddenly throw all this to crap. You know what I'm saying? So the reality, as we've now heard the judge heard it out. The judge almost let him out, guys. But it was clear from that communication they were lying. Diddy's team was lying. And yes, there was a sweep of the prison. I believe there was a sweep of the prison for contraband. While sweeping the prison, they started sweeping Diddy's stuff because he has been breaking the rules. That's what happens when you break the rules, idiots. What an idiot, as my dad calls him, you idiot. When you break the rules, you are checked. And so, yeah, they clearly checked his stuff to see, was he still breaking the rules? I'm sure they checked everybody else's paperwork too. Any other high profile people, all of them, they all get checked. Now, the question is, was there stuff in there that should have been handed to the prosecutors, etc.? Those are all things that that need to be figured out, to be fair. So, look, he's in trouble. He's in absolute trouble. He can claim all day, he can whine all day, whatever he wants, that he's being, used, abused, etc. Bringing up the legal pad again. This is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. He says, in regards to the search, they did not request the search, that they continue to blatant his rights. The question why the prison, why would they do all this? A multi-agency search of the facility as a ruse to spy on Mr. Combs' defense camp is outrageous. If the government seriously contending otherwise, it should call to the stand the lead official from the U.S. Bureau of Prisons or whatever agency was in charge. They don't even know. Diddy doesn't even know. He's just guessing. He's throwing shit at the wall. Oh, it must have been the guy, so we must call him out. These are all delay tactics. Diddy's got nothing else. He's doing anything he can to muddy the waters, throw things out. It's another reason why I don't want to get into drama anymore, because I worry. I do wonder if some of these people out there, I'm not naming names, so don't come at me, but I do now wonder if Jaguar was right. If some of these names that are out there trying to muddy the waters are in fact motivated or being used by people who are motivated by Diddy's and his money. I'm worried. So I do think it's imperative that we keep a clear head. We look at things objectively and really ensure that this is all on the legit. If the government is seriously contending otherwise, it should call to stand the lead official or whoever, blah, 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 that violated the inmates' 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. Purview of the BOP sweep. After the search, Investigator 1 allegedly debriefed prosecutors. They accused the prosecutors of taking these notes, using them against Mr. Combs, and did not go through the filter team. Mr. Combs cannot possibly receive a fair trial if he is not permitted to confer privately and confidentially with his counsel. That's true, but no one's saying he didn't. They go on to say that the government has proven time and again that it will intentionally continue to violate those rights if given the chance. They also cite the CNN tape and leaking damaging statements to the press as reasons to support this claim. If this represents the office's tradition of doing the right thing the right way, sorry, I lost where it was. Then Mr. Combs' only chance of a fair trial is immediate judicial intervention. We request discovery and a hearing to determine the extent of the violation to establish procedure to minimize prejudice going forward and to ensure that Mr. Combs receives a fair trial. Again, all of this is just, we don't know, but we suspect it. So judge, just throw it all out and we get to have this, right? And the judge has looked into it. And clearly the judge doesn't think there's anything wrong. And I don't believe this judge would risk a mistrial if he didn't do his due diligence. The defense asked the court to order other necessary relief, including suppression of the notes and any fruits of the legal search, directing that special master counsel privilege review in lieu of the filter team, disqualification of any prosecutors tainted by access to the privileged materials, depending on the evidence accused of the hearing, yada, 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 yada. Now, on top of this, he's also throwing this temper tantrum over his laptop, complaining it's compromising his defense. His legal team made a new filing demanding he have access to a laptop behind bars, which yet was a whole nother letter. I'm just giving you sort of the recap first, then we're going to go into details in the full live, so don't go anywhere. Keep watching. But in this, just sort of the gist, and I want to read through it exactly, but they allege that the MDC is restricting his access to one of the laptops despite providing he could use it. So wait, he thinks he's going to get like free access to Google. Part of me thinks like, just let him have it and track it all. Like, as you're allowed to in prison, like, check it out. But then he'll go use it, and then he'll say, see, I was looking up legal expertise, and they're using it. Anything he does or gets, he's going to use to his favor to try to get a mistrial is clearly what's happening here. But Diddy's team is now accusing the MDC of providing the prosecution team and not via the filter team copies of the MDC attorney visitation forms. They're throwing everything at the wall, including the kitchen sink. It's nuts. There's no conceivable reason why the government should know who and when Mr. Combs meets when it's connection with his legal defense. Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should. And needs to go through filter teams to ensure he's not gaming the system, which he's been doing ever since he got into prison. Stealing inmates' phone number records, etc. He's done everything he can think of to cheat. But no, he deserves special counsel, and they shouldn't know who defense everyone else is bringing in. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It's crazy. It's crazy. The MDC has informed defense counsel that it produces such information whenever defendant complains about inability to access to his attorneys. A response from the government is expected. Unreal. Unreal. It blows my mind that he thinks he could just get special privilege. But that's Diddy. That's Diddy. Appreciate you guys so much. Make sure if you haven't already, whether you're watching live or on the replay, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell for alerts. Smash the like button and leave your comments down below. All right, get ready. We're sending you over to Lewis. Go check out Lewis live now. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow as well.